Let me ask you an important question. Have you ever been trying to get in the absolute best shape of your life? You have had it. You are sick and tired of being sick and tired. January came around. You have these big goals. You hired the coach. You hired the trainer. But all of a sudden, you walk into a specific environment that triggers and tempts you. And next thing you know, you are eating that big bowl of pasta with the bread and the pizzas and the sweets, and you walk away from there nice and full, but super disappointed because you just let yourself down. My friend, if this is you, please watch this video. I have 3 important points that I truly believe are going to help you excel on your journey to getting in the absolute best shape of your life. But number 3 is probably the most important out of these 3. So please stay with me. I have some important information here that I believe will make all the difference in the world. My friends, I'm a professional fitness life coach, and I've been in the nutrition and fitness space for over 24 years. And so I believe that I have probably heard it all, seen it all. And one of the things that I see most people challenge with when it comes to sticking to a diet is not necessarily the dynamics. Whether you are counting macros, calories, points, keto, Atkins, South Beach, Whole30, the vegan diet, the vegetarian diet, if you're doing any of these programs, my friend, that generally isn't the challenge. You know the directives, you know what your coaches said, you've read the literature. We live in a country like America where there's so much information. There's just a click away on the internet. You can get a plethora of information on what to do. So I don't believe dynamics are the challenge. I don't believe that information is the challenge. I truly believe that it is whatever is going up here that's going to make all the difference on whether you're going to stay on a diet for an extended period of time, and more importantly, how you're actually going to make that a lifestyle. We are human beings that are constantly bombarded by our senses, right? Our visual, our auditory, our olfactory, our kinesthetic, all these senses are basically kind of roaming around, picking up on different little things that are happening throughout our day. And so 3 of the biggest challenges I see inside of this is people, places, and things. The people you hang out with, the places you frequent, and the things that you actually grab onto as an emotional crutch. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be cigarettes, it could be food, which a lot of times people don't really think of as a drug. But my friend, I'm here to tell you that one of the most abused drugs is food. And the reason we do it is because it's the innocent drug, right? We tend to basically rationalize and say, well, it's not alcohol, it's not drugs, it's not cigarettes, it's just food, right? But the problem is, for a lot of you guys, these types of foods are breaking you down. Call it type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure. It could be any of these diseases that are really getting to you. And so let's talk about people, right? Your circle of influence, the people you hang out with, the people you love, the people you cherish, the people you spend valuable time with. We need to take inventory of who these people are, right? And I'm not saying you need to X out your friends and stop speaking to them and push them away. I don't think that that's a good idea. I think that truly what you need to do with your closest friends is sit down and have an intervention conversation and say, hey, I'm looking to do this thing. I know you're my friend. I know you love me. I know you support me. Would you help me with these particular things that I'm looking to do, and come up with a plan? Number 2, your places, the places that you frequent that trigger you to either drink or eat. You need to take inventory of those places and know very specifically what and where those places are, right? You need to understand that, because I believe that clarity is power. If you know specifically what you're dealing with, now you can just simply avoid those places, or maybe even walk into those places and understand that that's a hot button for you. When you walk in there, you eat or you drink more, and just being aware of these things really helps. Number 3, things, emotional crutches that we use to cope with life. My friend, most people have some kind of coping mechanism. Even the people that are out working out every single day, or the people that are constantly dieting, or the people that are constantly doing something, even if it seems like something healthy, but they need to do that in order to cope. I truly believe that even the positive things that we're clinging to cope with life can be better than some other ones, like call it alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes, or any of the vices that people could have to cope with. You would say, well, what's wrong with running every day? It's okay if that's the way you are coping with life. I think that's a healthy thing to do, but I think it's even more important to actually get to the root of the problem and start asking some serious questions. What is it that I am so unhappy with? And start journaling and writing these things out and becoming very aware of them so that we can get rid of the core problem and not just simply mask the problem. So people, places, and things, those are three things that really, really trigger and tempt us. We need to take inventory of these things. We need to become very aware of these things. And once we do that, we want to create what I call visual cues that are going to support us in the direction of our goals. Visual cues are simply things that you see that remind you of what you're doing and keep you on track. Let me give you an example. I have sticky notes everywhere I go like this to remind me of specific things in specific areas. So I'll put a sticky note like this on my fridge, and I will possibly say, this is how I'm trying to show up in the world from a nutrition perspective, right? And this just means something to me. I write it, I have it on my fridge. Every time I look at the fridge, I'm reminded of that particular thing. I have other sticky little notes that I paste, just like you see on my desk here, right? And this reminds me of specific things that I need to do to stay on track with my goals, right? These are visual cues. I like to leave my sneakers by the front door so that every time I see those sneakers, I'm reminded that I should be physical, that I should activate my physiology. I have a treadmill in front of my television because if I'm going to watch television, I'm going to make sure that I do that while I am taking a walk. I know it might sound a little exaggerated, but it works for me versus sitting and being sedentary on a couch or in a chair. I have the treadmill in front of me. If I'm going to watch a show, maybe I'm going to watch a video on YouTube, I'm going to get on my treadmill and I'm going to walk for those 10 or 15 minutes because all this activity accumulates throughout the day. And so I want to make sure that I'm being productive. But in order for me to be reminded of those things, I need to see them, right? I need to have them in sight, right? And you know the saying, out of sight, out of mind. The opposite is also true. So you want to create some visual cues that are going to support you in your goal. You also want to make sure that you have in your environment, you have things that are supporting you. If there are certain foods or certain things that are triggering and tempting you, my friend, you want to either chuck them out, or if you live with other people and you can't do that, you want to hide those foods and you want to actually bring to the forefront the foods that you actually want to eat, so that every time you open the fridge, you're not seeing the thing that's tempting you. Instead, you're reminded of that your meal prep and the food that you need, right? Creating all of these visual cues and being able to set alarms on your phone. That's the other one. You want to set alarms so that you're constantly being nudged towards your shake, your meal, because we live very distracted, right? We're constantly being pulled on from different angles, work, family, kids, and you forget about your commitments. So setting up alarms is super, super important. Lastly, my friend, this calls for a commitment, okay? If you're simply interested, you're going to do what is convenient. But if you are committed, you're actually going to do what is necessary. I know this possibly sounds like a lot of work. You're like, man, I have to set all these things up and I have to constantly think about all these things. Here's the beautiful thing. When you do this consistently for at least 60 days, okay, most of these things become habits, right? You no longer have to exert energy in the direction of trying to do these things. These things just naturally start happening for you. And when that happens, you're golden, because once again, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. It just naturally happens. My friends, today we spoke about the best setup for your environment in order to help you lose weight. Remember, really quick here, just to recap, people, places, and things. Take inventory of those things. You want to have, number one, visual cues, things that remind you of what you need to do. Number two, you need to set up alarms so that you're constantly nudged. Number three, you need to become committed and not just interested in your goals. Remember that the difference is when you're committed, you're going to do what's necessary. When you're interested, you're simply going to do what is convenient. So the question to you is, are you committed or are you interested? My friends, I hope you enjoy this video, the best setup for your environment to help you lose weight. My name is JT Tapias, professional fitness life coach with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan channel. I hope you enjoy that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would love to invite you to do so that every time we release a video like this, you will be the first one to know. Also, hit that bell notification because, as I said, alarms are important. We live busy lives and we want to be nudged in the right direction. My friends, I hope to see you again. JT Tapias with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.